Hello everyone. In this video I'd like to share with you a very valuable tool. This is a tool that you can use in various academic settings, high school and college, and is also a tool that you can use for a number of purposes for your personal and professional life. And that tool is the EBSCO Library databases. This is the homepage for Jefferson County Library, and I've chosen Jefferson County since most of you are students. BOCES students, you're certainly welcome to use this. If you're outside of JEFCO, as long as you're a Colorado resident, you could actually use this library. In fact, that's a good jumping off place. Down at the bottom here, if you do not have a library card, you may click on this link here, and that will take you to a site where you can get a library card, even a temporary one, if you have one and you just can't find it. So there's a form to fill out if you're a minor person. Don't know why we call you minors, but we do. Anyway, you can fill out a library card application here and have access to a number of wonderful materials here, including one of my favorites, the Culture Pass here, that gets you free admission to various museums in Denver. So a lot of benefits of being online with the library system: books, movies, music, downloads, films, things going on in the community. But for our purposes today, we will be looking at research databases. So we are going to click on research, and that will bring us to this page here. And there's some tips on research and how to use that in the real world, include building your business. But for our purposes, we want databases. Databases, if you remember, are collections of reviewed, credible sources that you can use for research on a variety of different topics. Now, the library pays for these things. They pay for the subscription to the database, and the databases pay for the subscriptions to the various journals that are out there: medical journals, education journals, professional journals. So take advantage of this. This is your tax dollars at work. So let me show you a couple that you'll be using and a couple that you might want to explore on your own. If you look here by subject, there are a number of different databases, again, a number of different individual collections of materials on various topics. So if you're a history buff, you're looking for something from Ms. Kipp's class, whatever the case, here's a database for you here. If you're looking for a summer job or you want to do some career development, you might look under jobs. You might find some interesting things for over here if you're for test taking purposes at the Adult Learning Center. I know a few of you have mentioned trying to get your GED. Good chance to check that out and see what's involved. Do-it-yourself projects, there's some Espanol things here, and encyclopedias. Many of you might use Wikipedia, but these are considered more credible encyclopedias that you can use to get good background on some topic. For our purposes, we are using Current Issues and probably Academic Search Premier. You may want to delve into some of these others, but these two will probably give you most of the information that you need. This Current Issues is your opposing viewpoints, and this Academic Search Premier is your EBSCOhost. So let me take a few moments to show you those. So I'll start with the Current Issues one, and this would be good if you were interested in looking at a topic like, say, ISIS and maybe Middle East negotiations, something like that, global issues in context. Many of your other debate-worthy topics are under opposing viewpoints. So let me just point out what these look like when you get to them. If you click on global issues in context, first of all, you've got to be able to use a library card, so go back and get that library card. And you'll log in, and when you log in, you get to a page that tells you which database this is. This is the Gale Global Issues in Context database. So everything in here is related to global issues. Again, these are reviewed, credible sources for you. And there's some interesting things to explore, but there's also a search button here. So if I wanted to find out about ISIS, for example, I would come here, I'd click on search, just like you would on the internet, but you're searching credible materials here. And you would end up with a number of different hits from the news, from magazines, from academic journals, other reference materials, statistics, and you can sort each of these in a number of ways. So you can see very quickly that you're going to get a lot of really good credible information quickly that you can sort by content level, reading level, publication date, when it was produced, because something on ISIS from 2015 is going to be a little bit more relevant than something from, say, 2009. And relevance to your search. So a lot of different things you can look at here. Let me show you some other databases that you have an option of using. We were looking at originally the opposing viewpoints one. And so this is the opposing viewpoints one that we were looking at. And let's just take an issue that several of you mentioned in your survey that you'd be interested in debating, and that was the school start times. And again, you can search with that, or you can explore the different content areas or different topic areas that are here. Some of these are even set up for debate. This is kind of a ready-made database for your debate purposes. But you can also search on different topics. So I'm going to just type in here school start times, and we'll see what comes up. So you've got your viewpoint articles that are written for this, some related to not necessarily just school start times, magazines, audio, you've got some NPR stuff in here, news, academic journals, etc. You can play with your search terms as well. So you could do school start times, let's say adolescents, since that's the fancy way of saying teenagers, and see what you get with that. On this one, you get fewer hits. So you say, okay, maybe that's not the search term I want to use. Let's try just calling it what it is, school start times, teenagers. And you can see here in this list that there might be some other links that come up as you do that, other topics, other search terms. So let's try this. Using the word teenagers, let's see what we get. Okay, a fair number of different things here, not quite as many. So you can see the value of varying these search terms. But let's just, for example's sake, take a look at some of these here. This is from the New York Times, which regularly requires a subscription. You're getting it via your public library and tax dollars. You can click on this. It tells you the date here, and you get, when you click on it, you get the full text of, typically the full text, of the article that was in the New York Times. So this is a credible source. You've got a current date on it. You can listen to it. You can read it. And something you'll really like is at the bottom, you've got a complete source citation ready for you to put into your works cited page. So this is how a database can help you. Get you credible information right there at your fingertips. Now there are some citation tools you can use. You can try clicking on that, and it allows you to get, again, that citation that you need. EasyBib and NotePro, these are all resources for using that citation. You can also email this to yourself. So you click on email, and or you can send it to somebody else too. Who do you want to send it from, and who do you want to send it to with a little message? Include that. So if you just want to get a whole bunch of sources and then go home and work with it, that's an option. You can download it, you can print it, you can highlight it, save and share, and translate it. Lots of different sources. So hopefully you see the value of this particular database, Gale Opposing Viewpoints in Context. So that's one to start with. Now I want to go back and show you the EBSCOhost. I have to go back a few pages here. Go back to current issues, and remember that was from the research databases. So there's my kind of bigger umbrella. This is where we have them organized alphabetically and by subject. That's where I got the current issues under subject. And I want to use the Academic Search Premier. And this covers a wide variety of topics. As you can see here, they've listed social sciences, humanities, education, computer sciences, engineering, language arts, or language and linguistics, arts and literature, medical sciences, and ethnic studies. So it's a good one to start with, especially if you have a fairly prominent topic. So we go ahead and click on that again. And I've already entered my library card, so I think it's okay with that. So we get to something called EBSCOhost right here. Now, once you get to your EBSCOhost, you have a number of different search options, which you can set and reset according to your searching needs. So you can insist that everything that comes back has all of your search terms, or any of your search terms, or you can use a Boolean phrase, which is like the Venn diagrams in the other video, you know, the and or the or, this but not this, that kind of thing. You can organize your results. You can limit it full text only, as opposed to the abstract that gives you just kind of a summary of it. You can look at only those peer-reviewed journals. You can enter some publication dates here, publications here, specific publication here, like if you wanted to get things only from the Journal of Psychology or something like that, you could do that. You can decide what publication dates you want to use, because if you've got a particularly current topic, you know, something on gene therapy from 15 years ago isn't going to be as credible as something from gene therapy written last year. So you can decide what dates you want to put in. You can decide what publication types, newspapers, books, educational reports. You can even get some different images here. And so you put the search terms in, and then you're going to use it basically like you do at internet. You just search what you want. So I'm going to just model this with online education, obviously a topic that is relevant to my life and yours. So I'm just going to type in online education. In the internet, I don't even want to guess how many hits you'd get with this, but let's just type it in. And what do we end up with? But 55,736 hits. And part of that is because it is finding anything with online in it and anything with education in it. So online gaming is going to be included in this, and special education is going to be included in this. So that's where we get into quotation marks. And the quotation marks tell you, or tell the search engine, find anything that's an exact match online education. Only online education. And you can see there are a number of different takes you can have on online education. Once you got it in quotation marks, suddenly you've narrowed this down a little bit to only 7,000 hits. So that's when you want to go back and, I'm going to say, okay, what is it I really want to know? Let's say I want to know a little bit more about the quality of education schools or the achievement levels of online schools. I'm thinking about sending my kid to an online school, and I want to know kind of how do they rate? How good are these schools? So I'm going to type in the word achievement, and let's see what we get. Oh, 250 that we're down to. So I think, okay, that's worth trying. Let's see, just change this to virtual education and see what happens. If I change it from online to virtual, maybe I'll get something more, maybe I'll get something not as good a search term. So I learned through that online education is probably going to be a little bit more of what I need. When I was looking at the different options, let's just type that in. Oh, down here I see online effectiveness. Okay, let's try that, see what we get. Okay, 2,000 options. But I might start looking through these and say, maybe these aren't as relevant as I need. We've got some MBA stuff here. And so I might want to add the word secondary and just see what I get with that. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to send my kid to a middle school. And that gives me a different list of options. Or I could try the word quality, because that's what I really want to know. What is the quality of online education? And I think I lost my quotes here. That's part of it. That's why I'm still getting so many hits. So, okay, so we've got education quality, online education quality. Now, I did notice over here that I am using dates that go back to 1998, before some of you were born. The internet, online education were at a totally different place. So I'm going to actually drag this slider over here to something a bit more recent, how about 2009, and it's going to narrow that list down to anything that is within the last 5 years or so. Again, I can limit it to full text or things with references or in other ways, just hitting on this show more here. But I'm looking at this. This is catching my eye. Student perceptions of quality and satisfaction in online education. So I'm going to click on this. And as it comes up, I can get the detailed record. I can actually click on the PDF full text. And once I do that, then I could just download that to my computer. But as with the opposing viewpoints database, I can add this to a folder, print, I can email it, I can save it. And here's that magic button that everybody seems to like, Cite, where I click on that and it provides me my MLA, there it is, MLA format for my works cited page. So make it easy on yourself, take advantage of some of these tools. So if I want to read this again, I just click on my article here. It's all there, right there, ready for me. And this is my research, and the citation is ready made for me. So hopefully you can see that this is going to make your life a lot easier as you try to get credible information about your research topics. Be sure you have a Jeff Code library card. Be sure that you take time, because research is just not an easy process. But this will hopefully give you a way to make it easier and have a higher quality when you finish. Let me know if you have questions. Thanks.